Hi, I'm Greg from Working with Wood, and we're going to be showing you our next project, which is a fantastic flower box planter. And it's a great project to be able to take on with a number of different technical aspects. So first of all, we have this mitered frame which goes around the top, which just secures our planting tray inside. It's a fairly simple box construction with a standard box put together. We've got a beveled edge in the sides of our boxes just to give us some decoration. And then we have our decorative feet, which not only keep it off the ground nice and stable, but just add that flair to this particular project. So what we're going to start off here, just to give you all of the measurements, we start with a standard stock of 90 millimeters wide. We're going to be cutting for the top frame 520 millimeters by 780 millimeters. And then we're going to be cutting an additional 440 by 600 for the box frame. And we have pieces of 240 millimeters wide for our legs. And this is all put together very quickly using the Kreg pocket hole system, which allows you just to get all of those different bits and pieces together effortlessly and securely. So we're going to start off with this project now by cutting all of our different components to the required length. And to do that, I'm going to be making use of my Festool track saw. This is an amazing tool to be able to cut all of your various different components to size extremely accurately, dust-free, and very quickly. So join me as we use the saw to do all of our cutting for this particular project. We're going to start off by cutting our pieces out at 440 millimeters. So I've made a mark over here for the 440 that I need. We slide this into our saw here, and we make sure that the track is sitting there. So the mark sits on the line of the track, so you know exactly where you're cutting to. And then we have a little stop here, which we just push up against there, and that speeds up time. We don't have to come and measure and mark every single piece now. We're just going to slide each piece in after this and cut it to the size required. So let's do this cut. So all of our pieces that we cut have got a beveled chamfer on them that run around the box just to give a nice decorative edge around that box. And to do that, we take our saw, we open it front and back, tilt it over to 45 degrees. And what I do is I have a support piece of wood on this side of the track with the open side on that piece, and we're going to do this cut. And what that does is that gives us a beautiful clean bevel for us to join, just giving us a nice neat decorative look to it. So we've now cut all of our components for our project, and they're all cross-cut to the correct length. So now what I'd like to do is start on the frame, the mitered frame that goes on top of the garden box. And to do that, I'm going to take out my square again, and we're just going to mark all the ends at a 45-degree bevel, just so that we get them cut correctly and in the right place. There we go. Okay, so now what we're going to do is cut those mitered joints. The mitered joints are cut at 45 degrees, and when joined they give us a beautiful 90-degree angle. So what I've done is I've set my protractor here to 45 degrees, and it's going to allow us to cut this beautifully off here at that angle. Okay, and so there we've cut all of the mitered joints for the top of the frame of the box. So from here next, we're going to joint these two together, as well as we're going to use the jigsaw now to cut the profile for the legs. Okay, so we're going to be cutting out this beautiful curve for our legs. And to do that, I make use of a template, which I've drawn out and traced like that. And what I've done is I've actually stuck this down onto this previous piece of wood and then cut it out with my jigsaw. Okay, and once you've got that one, you use that one to make all the other legs that you're wanting to make. So we'll just trace this out straight here onto our project. And so there we've got that attractive curvature that we're going to be using for our legs, and we'll be using our jigsaw just to cut along that line really neatly. Okay, so this is the top frame that goes on top of our box, and what we're going to be using is the Kreg jig just to put 2 pocket holes in on each side here to pull this frame together nice and strongly. And I always say it's easier to use just the 2 shorter sides, so don't worry about those 2 long sides now, take them out the way, and we're just going to focus on the 2 shorter sides. Set your depth of your drill bit according to the thickness of the wood. The wood is 19mm pine, so we're going to just set the jig here accordingly to 19mm. And we do the same here on the drill guide. You'll see that it's set to 19mm. So now we're going to take these pieces in, stick it into our jig like this, clamp them in, and drill our holes. And so all in all, on both sides, you should have 4 pocket holes. Let's do it on this side over here. And there is the pocket holes for this particular frame. The rest of the box components are also pocket hole together. So we're going to continue and quickly make all of those different pocket holes, and then I'm going to show you exactly how you assemble all of these different components together. So all of our pocket holes are drilled into our wood in the correct places, and now all it is a matter of using the right screw. We're using a 32mm screw for this particular timber. It's a coarse thread screw made for softwoods, and all we do now is we grab the pieces that need to be joined. What I like to do is, using this face clamp over here, I line up that edge so that they're perfectly in line. There we go. And now we're able to put these screws in with it being perfectly flat. And that's those 2 pieces of wood joined really quick and easily. We're going to do this on all 4 pieces here now. Okay, so after assembling all the sides of the project, let's put our blocks together. And to do that, we've got pocket holes on the ends here, which we're going to use to screw these components together. So I'm going to start off just by placing this over here like that. And we have what we call a right angle clamp. It's a clamp that's got a section that fits into that pinhole, okay, and is going to clamp it in the correct position. That. And tighten that up. Taking off this pinhole clamp here. And there we've got a really nice, neat, strong joint. Okay, so this is our box completely assembled now. A nice sturdy frame. And now what we want to do is assemble our mitered frame to go over the top here. Just like that. And then we'll put the base in, and we'll put our planter box in, and we'll be ready to finish off this project. Okay, so there is the frame for the top of our box, assembled beautifully. We've got nice, clean, tight miters here, and that's going to sit right on top of this, just like so. So the frame is now attached to the top of the box, and to complete this project now, we're going to put our legs on. So we're going to have our legs facing down there, and we're also then going to put our planter box in, and then just some strips at the bottom to hold that in place. Okay, so there we have our our 4 feet. We're going to clamp them on the side over here like this, and then we just screw them on from the inside. So with the frame now mounted on the top, we're basically on the home stretch for this particular project. So all we do is we're going to turn it over. I have a plastic planter box which just goes straight in there like that, and then we have these little pieces of wood which are just going to just hold it perfectly there in position. And so if you ever need to get the box out again, you've got these screws here on the top, and you just unscrew them and you're able to take your planter box out. So with the whole project complete now, it's time for a little bit of sanding. We're going to give this a mild treatment just to finish it off, and then it's going to be perfect for planting all of your favorite things that you'd like on your patio. So you can put some beautiful flowers in, maybe you can put some small shrubs in. You could even use this as a planter for herbs and veggies as well. So enjoy.